Now for the members of our group, we have Giancarlo M. Marindique as the leader and one of the programmer of Date or Die, Rebecca Alexandra Almeida as programmer of Date or Die, Francesca Dwight C. Bautista as the game writer, narrative designer of Date or Die, bringing life to the game, Dirk Edison P. Salvador, and Harjot Singh as the video editor. And that's the members behind Date or Die.
A dating simulation, or dating for short, is a video game subgenre focused on building romantic relationships with non-player characters, or NPCs, typically involving managing time, stats, and making dialogues to increase affection, often presented with vibrant and expressive visuals and branching storylines that lead to different romantic outcomes.
Love hurts, but dating Rhea Nightingale might actually kill you. Swipe right at your own risk in this high-octane visual novel where the only thing more dangerous than the mission is the romance. You are a hopeless romantic who swiped right on Rhea, drop-dead gorgeous and vaguely employed in aggressive asset manipulation. When you swipe right, you're signing a waiver. Rhea needs someone who doesn't flinch when the bullets start flying. From a five-star interrogation dinner to an amusement park stress test, you must prove you have the teeth to keep up. Surviving the dates is only half the battle. Your ultimate trial, winning over her family, a chaotic crew of mercenaries who call her their boss. Will you end up as collateral damage, or prove you're reckless enough to steal a hitman's heart? In Date or Die, love is a battlefield. Bring a helmet.
Hello, I am going to explain. We're going to play a game, and I am going to explain the mechanics of it, all of it. So we're gonna run the Python file first. There we go. So firstly, we have the introduction. This is the game title. It's called Date or Die. It's a dating simulator that we made for the project. And the first thing that greets you here is that the game asks for your name, player name. So I'm gonna enter my player name here. So Dwight, that's my name. Hello Dwight, are you ready to date or die? So, and it gives me options. Option 1, start the game, or option 2, quit the game. So if I pick 2, quit the game, say quit, see you next time, the program ends. So now, I'm going to run this game a second time, just to make sure that it works. So here it is again, title, Date or Die, game sim. Enter my name is Dwight. There you go. And hello Dwight, are you ready to date or die? And I'm going to start the game this time. So completely after I start the game, the scene starts, and I get a novel-esque scene. So here's the scene, and we are going to get to know the date herself. And here we are presented with 3 options. Either we compliment her, or we say that she's late. So for example, I pick letter B. And here, look, you get 2 marks. So this game has a point system. So every interaction you add up to the points in the game. So you get 2 marks, which is a good thing. Because you either end up with a good ending or a bad ending depending on how much points you have. So for example, you have like more than 3 points, you get the good ending and you go on a second date. And if you do badly, then the date fails, and you move on to the next date, which you try again and add up your scores again. So here we have the second options. We have A, B, and C as it is earlier. As if you can notice by now, it's the same pattern every time. There's a scene that goes on, there's dialogue, and it waits for you to answer pick an option so that the game continues. If I click in 1 here rather than A, B, or C, the question reiterates and it says invalid option, you must choose A, B, or C. So for example, I pick B again. There we go. We got 2 points again. So that's how the game works, basically. It's an option-based game where consequences directly are caused by you, and you have to make sure that you don't really mess up the date. That's how the game goes. All of this goes on until you enter the 4th interaction. So you have 4 interactions total. And if you get to the 5th interaction, you don't get any options anymore, because that's the last scene, and you either get the good ending or the bad ending. So we get 4 interactions in each date, and we got 3 dates. So you get like 24 in total. So that's basically how the game goes. I hope you like it. Thank you for sitting here with me and watch me explain all this.
Utility and control flow. Our code begins with utility and control flow using functions. The type _text double parenthesis function is crucial for immersion. Using a tight for loop and time.sleep to create the essential typewriter effect. The display _menu double parenthesis function meanwhile demonstrates input validation employing a while true loop to strictly ensure the user selects start or quit. The program's entire flow is overseen by the main _game double parenthesis function the center controller.
For the architecture, which is the data structure and game loop, all story content is managed by the data flows variable. This complex structure is a list of dictionaries that separates all dialogue, choices, and scenes from the core logic. The execution relies on a simple for loop that iterates through the data structure, calling the run date sequentially for each date. We collect the Boolean results of true false to tally the final successful dates.
Now, the card game mechanics are within the function named runDate. What does this function do? As we can see here in the comments, it runs a single date with 4 fixed interaction, followed by a final non-interactive scene if the date flows contains 5 or more scenes. Returns true if the date is successful or it has 3 or more hearts, false otherwise. The scoring system begins with hearts that automatically have 3 heart points. Choices directly impact these heart points, with the best choice adding to 2 points and the good choice adding to 1 point, and a deduction of 2 heart points if you chose a wrong answer. Crucially, narrative consistency is maintained by storing the result of every decision, A, B, or C, in the last choice code variable. This state tracking mechanism determines the options and consequences in the next interaction.
For the dynamic branching logic, for the storytelling mechanism, the continuity established by last choice code is immediately leveraged for conditional branching. Now that an efficient if-else structure checks the tracker's variable state. It then uses the dictionaries that get get then parentheses method to retrieve the correct pre-written dialog variables like previous choice, a scene, and the interactions. This ensures the conversation always acknowledges the player's immediate history, creating a responsible and dynamic experience. Now this scene underscore text equals interaction and scenes is just for fallback. It won't run unless this doesn't work.
Final endings. The game effectively utilizes modular functions, structured data, and state-dependent conditional logic. The endings are determined by a simple conditional check at the end of the main game function. If the total successful disk is 2 or greater, the good ending is triggered. Otherwise, the else block executes the bad ending. Now for our discussion. Our dating simulator may be simple, but it demonstrates how programming can become more engaging when connected to personal interests.
Through this project, we applied fundamental concepts such as conditional statements, user input, and logical decision making, while also learning how to make these ideas can create interactive experiences.
Additionally, the program showcases how variables, loops, and functions can work together to manage player choices and outcomes.
It also highlights how structured logic can transform basic commands into a fully working interactive program. That pretty much sums it up.